Hey everyone, hope everybody's doing well, and today we're going to be talking about the fourth winner of SpeechLeech, and that is the Denaina language. So I spent some time over the last 2 weeks learning what I could, and quick disclaimer that I'm going to start putting out at the beginning of every I Speak video. I do not claim to be fluent nor even conversational in any of the languages that I learned over the course of this project, nor would I count them as one of the languages I speak when asked how many languages you speak. I just want to talk about them and showcase them, and maybe even inspire someone else out there to learn them as well, no matter how small or how useless the language may seem. And another quick thing, with the beginning of summer almost upon us, I'm currently dealing with moving countries and the university and a lot of random crap at the same time. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to take a little break from the project and kind of get my life back on track. But then we'll resume soon with the letter E and we'll finish off the alphabet. It's going to happen. However, this doesn't mean that I won't be uploading any videos in the meantime. I have a video prepared for next week and maybe another one after that, like little topics that are just easier to make. In any case, with that out of the way, let's get right back into Dena'ina. 2 weeks ago, I said that Choctaw was the most difficult language I had studied so far. Little did I know. Dena'ina, sometimes written as Denaina, is native to Cook Inlet region of Alaska, United States, and people have inhabited this place for thousands of years. It's full of wildlife and fishing and forests and mountains, and it's so far away from everything nobody is ever gonna bother you. The Dena'ina people have historically lived along the coast, and are avid fishermen, and have a million different ways of preparing a million different kinds of fish. Dena'ina is part of the northern Athabascan branch of the Denaina Language family, which means it's distantly, like very distantly, related to the Navajo and Apache languages spoken by the respective peoples in the American Southwest. The closest languages to Denaina, however, would be Atna and Upper Kuskokwim, though they still won't readily understand each other, however. Denaina further subdivides into a few dialects, all of which are mutually intelligible, but with some differences. There is some sound variation. For example, in the outer inland dialect, the word for caribou would be bejech, while in the inlet dialect, it would be vejech. There is also some lexical variation. For example, the word for animal in the outer inland dialect would be niña, while the inland dialect, it would be kaka. Why is this a thing? I don't know, why is it a thing for British people to have two taps, or one is actual lava and the other is actual ice, despite clearly having the technology to have one tap in the shower and make life easier for everyone? It's a mystery. Today, there are about 900 to 1,000 Dena'ina people, and their language has been in decline for a while, and still is. In 1970, there were about 120 speakers. By 2014, there were about 40 native speakers left, most of whom were over the age of 60. Now, this sucks, but there are so many, like a surprising and quite commendable amount of resources and revitalization programs out there. Like, really well done to the Denaina, and also the Alaska state government, who have done an amazing job, it seems, at least in the 20th century, in recording and promoting the language, and going as far as recognizing Denaina, along with 19 other native languages, as national languages of the state of Alaska in 2010. There's books, there's recording, there's adult classes, there's children's classes, there's a yearly Denaina festival with a 3-week-long intensive language course led by the elders. Now, there's a few reasons for the decline of the Denaina language cited by historians and linguists that I found. The main reason is, as often as ever when it comes to those things, is the arrival of Europeans. There were many Russian expeditions to the area, and by the late 18th century, the Russians had already established a few trading sites and forts. After a while, though, something just didn't sit right with the Denaina people, and they attacked the Russians, and surprisingly ended up beating the Russians and forcing many of them out in what is now dubbed as the Battle of Kenai. Russian influence remained, though, as Russian will still be spoken in the area for the next 100-ish years or so, and a lot of the Denaina actually converted to Russian Orthodox Christianity. Then the Americans started moving in en masse, which led to a smallpox epidemic, and in a few short years, the Denaina population was reduced by half. Then America buys Alaska from Russia in 1867, and then in 1887 the Dawes Act is passed, which kind of made it legal to steal land from Native Americans and kind of officially made them second-class citizens, and these new laws found their way into culture and education as well. And I'll let Sheldon Jackson, who was agent of education of the territory of Alaska, explain it. It is the purpose of the government in establishing schools in Alaska to train up English-speaking American citizens. You will therefore teach in English and give special prominence to instruction in the English language. Your/our teaching should be pervaded by the spirit of the Bible. Huh. That doesn't sound so bad, until you read about some of the punishments that were given to kids caught speaking Denaina in school. Boys would get beaten and assigned manual labor. Girls, who generally wore dresses, were made to forcibly kneel with their knees onto rock salt for extended periods of time. And both boys and girls would literally get their mouth washed out with soap, which made the kids associate their language and culture with dirtiness and filth. In a lecture I found online by Professor Alan Boras of the Kenai Peninsula College, he mentions how he's actually met Denaina people who avoid going to the soap aisle in the supermarkets because of the terrible memories. This also results in a very frustrating nuance when it comes to preserving and recording endangered languages. Some people deny speaking or understand any of the language at all, despite growing up in it and definitely knowing it for a fact, but still refusing to speak it. This forced Americanization legitimately led to a language genocide, the likes of which the world hasn't really ever seen before, and has had a devastating effect on identity of not just the Denaina, but hundreds of other Native American tribes all across the continent. Here are some of the amazing people that actually have went through this themselves and still took the time and energy to help record and preserve their native languages. I just thought we'd take a little moment to appreciate these unsung heroes of the Denaina people. Enough about that, let's talk about the language now. Denaina has 4 vowels and 36-ish consonants, and its basic word order is subject, object, verb, or SOV. There are of course plenty of English loan words that are used interchangeably in the sentence, but there is also a number of Russian loan words like bladi from platya, meaning dress, vidulga from butulka, meaning bottle, and soldat from soldat, meaning soldier. The list of loan words primarily includes nouns, and that is because given the structure of the Denaina verb and its complex grammar, foreign verbs aren't easily adaptable to this. Denaina is a polysynthetic language, where one word can mean an entirety of an English sentence. A verb stem may have up to 19 different prefixes and suffixes at a time attached to it that encode an array of grammatical information in a very condensed fashion. While in English most of these things are expressed using separate words, Denaina has affixes for gender, direction, possession, modality, aspect, tense, relativity. I gave this example in the D-Choices video 2 weeks ago, but it's a great example. Consider the English sentence I will see you again, which can be expressed in Denaina using a single word, nun khel ich. And you can see how the different parts of the verb deconstruct to come together to create the meaning of I will see you again. And because of the complexity of the language, I have to confess I wasn't able to learn much in those 2 weeks. I didn't want to just memorize the words and spit them back out there. I wanted to actually learn the language, but that kind of ended up happening anyway a little bit. So, little disclaimer for any Denaina speakers out there, it's bad, and here is the extent of what I managed to muster up. Nachen du niño, jangu ndaich kotinta, yacheli. Yacheli. Zag, min knich naishu. Kinich di yada di. Kinich di vidulga. Kinich di yada di. Kinich di lamba. Yada duchu ni iji nlani. Shi iji shon. Ka dunen ka Denaina ka kainajdu. Chidka ko kodak dashnesh Denaina ka. Kazakda Alaska nech treshtulch. Chukenai. Tselk-e, nutiha, tuk-e, denk-e, chkelu, kuichen-e, ketserui-e, ltakul-e, lkich-e-di, kelushu, jangun-li kilan, benendraji, lkich-e-di tinta. Tihalk-ochyenesan, tulkulik-ita. Also, unsurprisingly, Denaina has a huge amount of fish-related vocabulary, and to demonstrate a few examples, I wrote this little song. Hope you enjoy. Valik helveji helik adunultani, vekuk das yechi chukelin tiltani, kintech anudik aji vavasgeni, nunaltuk tsicha kelajel. Chinan, kishta chinan, kehuluch. And now here's an example of what actual, real, unbutchered native Denaina sounds like.
Chida ni delgas katni. Natsach, indaichko likacha, halisa, rogdrechta.
Natsach, likacha nokko raskat kodech. Ston, tudas o kirodus asli, riach restel.
Polysynthetic languages are super cool and super interesting. It's like a linguistic puzzle. There is so much linguistic information that is being conveyed in so few words. And it's a great shame that languages such as Denaina are disappearing, because a lot of the cultural stuff, the way of thinking of the native speakers, is untranslatable in any other language. For example, there's a line in an old Denaina song called Karanalchin that reads Shesh Tkelhyani, which was translated into English as do your best in life. However, if translated literally word for word or morpheme for morpheme, I guess, it would read live to enhance your breath and your shadow spirit. By breath, they meant health, and by shadow spirit, they meant soul. Kind of. So all in all, I think that the difference between do your best in life and live to enhance your health and your soul speaks for itself. And I hope it shows how crazy and inventive the human mind can be, and it ain't very nice to try to take that away from someone. As Denaina elder Claire Swan puts it, when they took away our language, they took away our ability to think in our own way. That is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed that and learned something new, and I'll see you guys soon, and some point in a few weeks, and we'll get back to the E-languages.